Chairman, I'm going to put you on speaker for the meeting, and we're going to run it through you, okay? Hi, Chairman, you with us? Okay. Okay, so through you, Chairman, we would like to call this meeting to order for the Middlesex County Improvement Authority, and if we would all rise to salute the flag and call it to order. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we have the roll call of officers. Chairman Nolan.
Here.
Commissioner Rosinski.
Here.
Commissioner Abbott.
Here.
And Commissioner De Agostino.
Here.
Sorry, good. Okay. This meeting today conforms with Chapter 231 Public Law of 1975, called the Open Public Meetings Act, and as per the requirements of the statute, notification of the meeting was published in the Star Ledger and Home News Tribune and filed with the Clerk of Middlesex County. So we're going to move on to correspondence. Would you like to have a
Yeah, I know we're going to be covering some of the stuff in the recycling report that Paul will be giving, talking a little bit about updating you on the contract. Just wanted to let you know that we're making some really good progress. We've gotten some feedback from some other communities, and I've also spoken to some of the surrounding counties about values and what our new contract rates are going to be. And I think that in gathering that information, we can feel very comfortable that we have a very competitive rate of the $5.28 per home as of April 1. And we anticipate this year, and Paul, I don't want to steal your thunder, but I think that we anticipate maybe even getting some more communities participating this year than we perhaps we've had in the past. I guess I just want to do a shout out to Paul and the team, and Dave, and really everybody who was part of this, getting this contract together. But I feel really comfortable about that. Do you want to jump in a second, Paul, before I finish the rest of my report? We'll kind of go, if it's with the board's permission, we'll go a little out of order if you can kind of just chime in on that recycling element.
Yes, there's some potentials to do some interlocal agreements with other municipalities once our new contract is in effect. But let me step back a moment. Tomorrow, the good law firm of Raynone, Coughlin, and Anchola will be mailing out to our constituent towns the interlocal agreement. Okay, we can't get it out until if it's formally presented to you in your packet. So your vote will be this evening. We will get it out tomorrow immediately, so that we will then proceed more so. We've been meeting with our contractor, and we're looking to make sure, from what I can understand, there's one community has some questions, but for the most part, what we see it's pretty basic. There's a couple of communities in the county who are not members of the program now, who are talking to us about potentially being part of the program, and there is some out-of-county communities who have talked to us recently and said we'd like to. What is the process? And we would do it through an interlocal agreement, which makes it easier for those communities. They don't have to pay for the bidding process and all that. So it's been really exciting based on the fact that we got a real competitive price compared to what the going rates are today. So there's been some individual rates that have people back in the summer. One of our constituent towns went out to bid, and their pricing came in at well over $8 a unit. And so there's some other areas. So the number we have is competitive, and not to say that it's not an increase. It is, but with regard to where the marketplace is today and what's happening not only across the state, the country, or the world, we've got a pretty good competitive contract. Anything else, Jim?
No, I think it covers it. We've also been working with we've assigned Kevin Feig as the new recycling supervisor. The restructuring that Paul's been orchestrating is really creating a much tighter enforcement opportunity in our communities, but more importantly, also we're able to be much more nimble in responding to individual consumer issues. He has now made sure that our vehicles are equipped in certain ways to be able to do immediate response to a single miss or some type of a situation that occurred in the town. That's going to really increase significantly our customer service. And in addition, the advent of being able to now have the trucks that are part of Solterra, the GPS system, loaded onto our system here, we've been able to now track where the actual pickups are occurring. And as calls come in real time about a missed street or a missed location, we actually go online, observe where the vehicles and the trucks are in the community to determine whether it was actually missed or maybe they just haven't gotten to that street, which expedites the explanation back to the customer. So, I mean, we've really seen a sea change in just a few weeks of how that impacted our ability to be able to give better customer service. So, thanks, Paul.
In the packet, ladies and gentlemen, there's our monthly report. It's there. And as I said, tomorrow the interlocal will be going out. Thank you.
So moving on to our other committee reports, including the foods report, you will see in the packet it shows that we collected 190,907 pounds, which equates to 95.5 tons. And some of our notable product contributions were the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, ABF Trucking, Keith, CeeLo Snacks, Pepperidge Farms, Depleto Logistics, and Farmers Against Hunger.
In addition, just on the McFoods thing, we've also done a beautiful renovation of an office location within our warehouse down there so that our McFoods director will actually have a place to be able to work within the facility, which will expedite our response to certain issues, better supervision, more immediate response, and so forth. So that's just about completed. We're waiting for some technical equipment to be installed in the next couple of weeks.
You will find our financial report within their packet. Is there anything to note in the?
No, the financial report and the bill lists are included in the package.
Beautiful. So moving on to item 6 on the agenda, which is old business. Do we have any old business? Seeing none, hearing none. Moving on to number 7, which is new business. Do we have any new business? Okay, we're going to move on to the discussion of the resolutions. Today you will note, Chairman, we have items 8A through 8W, and I'll actually go through them.
Okay.
So item 8A is amending certification of funds for an approved NJHA vendor. Item 8B is authorizing an amendment to certification of funds for an approved NJ state contract vendors for Roosevelt Care Center facilities. Item 8C is Middlesex County Improvement Authority designating authorized newspapers. Item 8D is appointing a designated representative and alternate to the board for Keep Middlesex Moving. Item 8E is designating a certifying finance officer. Item 8F is authorizing signatories for the Middlesex County Improvement Authority. Item 8G is authorizing qualified purchasing agent to undertake bidding process, fair and open process, and approving purchasing process. Item 8H is amending a contract amount for respiratory service for Roosevelt Care Center facilities. Item 8I is authorizing for a vendor listing with the Educational Services Commission for New Jersey for year 2020. My apologies. Item 8J is authorizing the listing of New Jersey Hospital Association vendors for Roosevelt Care Center facilities for the year 2020. Item 8K is authorizing contracts under state-approved vendor lists for Roosevelt Care Center facilities for year 2020. Item 8L is rejecting bid for a sprinkler system and service inspection at Roosevelt Care Center facility in Edison. Item 8M is approving payment to a certain vendor at Roosevelt Care Center Edison. Item 8N, I said shut off your phone so the meeting.
Sorry.
Item 8N is authorizing entering into interlocal agreements with participating municipalities for the provision of curbside recycling collection services. Item 8O is designating affirmative action compliance officer and determining compliance threshold. Item 8P is designating government records custodian. Item 8Q is authorizing depositories and adopting cash management plan. Item 8R is approving payment to a certain vendor for performing emergency services at Roosevelt Care Center, Edison. Item 8S is authorizing 2020 code of classifications. Item 8T is rejecting bid for landscaping services at Roosevelt Care Center facilities. Item 8U is authorizing payment to a certain vendor for Roosevelt Care Center facilities in Edison, Item 8V is authorizing memorandum of understanding for the North Brunswick train station between New Jersey Transit Corporation and the Middlesex County Improvement Authority. And item 8W is authorizing increase in hourly temporary CNA rates for a certain vendor. Do we have any questions or would like any discussion on the resolution presented?
I don't have any questions.
No. If there are no questions about the resolutions, may I have a motion to consider a consent agenda?
Motion.
Second. Second, whatever.
Yeah, sorry.
All those in favor?
I hear you, yeah.
Am I doing this or you doing this?
No, I hear you. All in favor?
Pardon me,
Aye.
is there going to be public comment?
We're gonna move it to a consent agenda first, and
Okay.
then there's gonna be public comment at the
Okay.
end, of course. Okay.
Did we get to vote?
Yes, we have the vote for a consent agenda, but right now we're gonna move on to the approval of minutes. May I have a motion for the approval of minutes for meeting of January 14, 2020?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
I have to abstain,
Aye.
I wasn't here.
Oh, right, sorry. Okay. Thank you. Okay, right now we have the public comments on resolutions, and I think we have one.
Yep. Charles Cradaville from New Brunswick, editor in New Brunswick today. I want to make sure that the chair hears me, so that's why I'm getting
Sure.
close to y'all.
I can hear you,
Okay.
but I can hear you.
Good to hear you, Chairman. So my questions tonight are about 8V, the member.
Just one moment, remember it's public comments, so if you can phrase it as a comment, but,
Sure. So I spoke to the executive director earlier this year about the North Brunswick train station, and I was told that I asked when I might be able to ride the train to North Brunswick, and was told 5 years was kind of the timeline, and that it might take as much as 2 years just to design it, and just wanted to confirm that that's still the timeline.
Chairman, would you like me to respond to that?
Yes.
Charlie, we don't have a specific time frame yet. There is discussions going on right now with New Jersey Transit. We have a series of meetings. And we're just finalizing our actual interlocal agreement with them. So we will not be able to actually determine the actual schedule for a period of time, but once we have that, we'll be happy to provide that. So right now, any numbers that are out there, a number of years and so forth, are just guesstimates. There's been nothing put to an actual specific estimated schedule that we could really share at this point. We just don't have enough information to be able to do that.
Okay, so there's no timetables in the memorandum?
Correct.
Okay.
The memorandum is the memorandum between the transit agency and the IA to proceed with the project. And then, of course, obviously, the design phase and engineering and so forth needs to be done, and then a construction schedule. So there's still time that's needed to be able to determine those points of time in the schedule.
Thank you. And the cost is so far 50 million NJ Transit is paying. Is it all at once, or is it over time?
It's over time as the project proceeds.
Okay. I've followed this project for almost the whole time I've been in the county. It's been something that's been, pursued for a while. And I recall something about the developer being the one that was going to pay for the train station. And so I'm just curious, is there any other funding sources, or is it just all this 50 million from NJ Transit?
Right now, the funding really is the 50 million from New Jersey Transit. I'm not aware of any discussion about the developer building the train station. I know that the developer, as part of the site plan, is providing certain lands for parking and other amenities that are needed for the train station, but I have not been made aware of any participation in the actual construction of the train station itself,
Okay.
of the platforms and so forth.
I gotcha. And what about overruns? If it's cost more than 50 million, is there a funding source, or would that just be, go back to NJ Transit or
I
somebody
think
specifically on the hook in the agreement?
it's not a case of being on the hook, I think it's a case of actually developing the plan, then trying to determine what the actual scope is going to be. And then once we're out for bid, I think we'll have a better understanding of what exactly the cost will be of the project. The estimates and the funding that has been provided has been given to us by Transit with whatever calculations they may have done for what we may be able to accomplish. And obviously our goal is to try to stay within budget as best as we can.
Okay. Thank you for answering my questions. I would just encourage this project be prioritized and done as soon as possible. It's something that would make a big difference, and I think that it's taken way too long to get to this point, so hopefully it'll be less than 5 years that I can ride the train from New Brunswick to North Brunswick. But thank you for your time tonight.
Absolutely.
Do we have any other public comments on resolutions? No? Okay, so we're going to move on to item 11, which is the approval of the resolutions. First, we have a consent agenda. Can we have a motion to approve all the resolutions, item A through W?
Motion.
We'll take a roll call. So Chairman Nolan,
Yes.
Commissioner Rosinski,
Yeah.
Commissioner Abbey,
Yes.
Commissioner De Agostino.
Yes.
Okay, all in favor? All
Aye.
right.
I was going to need all the paperwork.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. Way to play me out, Chairman. All right, next we have the payment of vouchers. May I have a motion to pay the vouchers?
Motion.
Second, if you need one.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we have public session. Do we have any public session? One more?
Yeah, just
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Charles Scratchville, New Brunswick today. I did want to follow up on something I spoke to you about before, the agreement with RWJ Barnabas. I think last we spoke it was in the works, now it's in action. Can I just get an update on how that agreement has gone? Is it something that's benefited the authority or the county to have a Robert Wood run the Roosevelt Care Centers?
Jim?
Sure, thank you, Chairman. So the management agreement took effect actually a couple of weeks ago, where Robert Wood Johnson actually began the actual management of the facility. We hosted meetings with all of our staff, union representatives, on all of the shifts. Took a few days for their management team to be introduced to everyone within the facilities. They are, as I said, really into the first 2 weeks, if you will, of the management of it. They're getting to know the staff, getting to know the operations and the procedures. They're meeting all the residents, understanding how some of the operations function, and of course already looking at where they can make improvements and where they can do things to try to enhance the quality of life for the residents who are there, which is part of what our goal is by having this team come in. So we're really pleased that Robert Wood Johnson has the boots on the ground now and are actually in the facilities and running the day-to-day operations.
Okay, thank you for the thorough answer. Just if I could get the cost arrangement, the price arrangement, I believe it's a percentage after a certain amount.
I don't believe that. I can get you details of that, though.
Okay, I'll follow up. Thank
Sure.
you.
Do we have any other public comments? Seeing none, hearing none, that portion is closed. Next is our adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Thank you.
Motion.
All right. You're going to be a second, Chairman. All in favor?
Okay, I'll be second. Aye.
All
Aye.
right. Thank you very much, Chairman. I hope you have a great evening.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.